Hello. Today I want to speak about very important question for FPV racers and other FPV flyers, which is video feed quality problem due to antenna quality and its shape and so on. So I had quite a lot of problems with video feed signal, losing it, getting other pilots' video on my feed, or making a problem for other people when I turned on my drone. I checked a lot of manuals in the internet how to make the antenna good antenna, and I saw a lot of reviews that antennas work really fine for some people, and that was quite annoying. Why it's not working for me? And I decided to make an SVR meter to see what happens and what makes it trouble for me. So I made here a real-time and scan mode. Scan mode allows me to scan the whole FPV range, which is common used, and the real-time just allows me to scan the one channel to see how antenna shape acts on the performance on some fixed channel. A little later I will make a video and some manual how to build this thing, and I hope it will be useful for a lot of people. But let's start about antennas. You can see here some different antennas I collected, and I want to start from my favorite antenna. That's a simple stick antenna, which was pulled from the plastic part, and they're quite common. You can get them with any equipment you buy on the internet, like transmitters, receivers, goggles, and so on. So they're quite common. It looks like this inside, but you have to know that there are good stick antennas and bad stick antennas, and actually that we see here is a good one and bad one. What is the difference? Difference is connector quality, cable quality, iron tube length, and front bar wire length. So let's check the good one to have a reference. So let's enter scan mode and scan. Now the device is scanning. According to the wall range, you can see the limits below the graph, and you can see this antenna is quite good. It shows 1.07 SVR at the center frequency, and that's quite amazing result. And this antenna is checked in a real race, and it worked amazing with a very stable video feed and no losses signal, no interference with other pilots, and so on. For them who don't know what is SVR value is, that's a comparison of a wave going to antenna and the reflected wave from the antenna back to the transmitter. And if your reflected wave is too big, your transmitter will get hot, and that will reduce your transmitting power. That will make a flooding on other channels, and you will have not stable feed, and you will make a problem for other racers. Let's check now the worst antenna. You can see the SVR values are much more, and the graph is not so uniform like previous one, and the minimum value is 1.63 at the lower frequency. That's because this metal tube is too long on this antenna, and that makes a difference between good and bad antenna about 1 millimeter in length. Not much at all, but this is junk. So very common antenna type is a leaf antenna. It's quite a kind of classics in the FPV racing, but there are some problems with that too, because it's really difficult to make a good leaf antenna, because it's very sensitive to the curvature of this side corner and this corner between wire, central wire and side wire. So let's check how it works. Let's make a scan. You see this antenna is not very good, but really is not very bad, at least on the lower frequencies. Let's check, let's try to make a little change for it. We'll change corner a little. There is about 2 or 3 degrees change, not too much, but let's check how this change may affect the antenna performance. Okay, so we see that the action was not very big. Let's make a different change. Let's change this corner just a little and scan again. So you can see in this case antenna became better. That was a good luck for us, but in most cases when you crash your leaf antenna, it will become quite a worse thing. So even if it was good, that don't means it will stay good after a few crashes. Also, the quite common thing is bending of the cable, but no one knows that the bent cable also reflects some wave backwards, so let's bend it. Okay, you can see it's bent now, and let's check what will happen. You see, now that is not a good antenna anymore, that's quite a worst. Let's wait for the finish, and we see that the minimum value is 1.86 and the other frequencies show much more SVR values. So it's much better to don't bend your antenna if it's good. So it's a point to remember. You can direct it in any direction, and that's a benefit of a leaf antenna, that no matter how it's placed, it will still work. So better to don't bend cable. So after all that problems, I decided to try quad helical antenna. You can see it here, and I found a quite detailed tutorial in the internet how to build it, and the main logic of them is to make a wire length like 52.7 millimeters, and yes, that's quite logical, because that's much the wavelength, but no one knows how it's affected by the bending and how the wires affect each other. And when I built it, it appeared that the center frequency of this antenna was too low, about 5.4 GHz or like that. So I decided to reduce the length to get at least some viewable values, as on SVR meter I see all values below 5 because there is no reason to see more. So let's check what maximum performance I was able to get with it. So let's scan it. So you can see that the frequency is still quite low, and it's not matched well. By the way, the length of the wires is reduced by about 5 or 6 millimeters, so there is quite big difference between 52.7 and 47 millimeters length. So you have to know that building this type of antenna is very difficult, especially if you have a tool to check what are you doing really. So as you can see, here we have some cheap antennas. You can buy them in the market for about $4 or $5, and sometimes they are not too bad. Let's check it. You see, this one is quite a good one, at least on the lower frequencies. But at the same time, another similar antenna can show you very different results. So if you are buying, you have to buy some checked antennas, maybe some branded ones, to make sure it will work fine. So let's check the third one. Oh, that we don't want. So here we can see that this antenna has less performance on the lower channel, but more performance on higher channels. So I hope this information was useful for you, and the time I spoke is not wasted for nothing. And so the conclusion is, you may try a stick antenna on one side and branded leaf antenna, like maybe Fat Shark or Way ones, Helical ones. I hope they are making good antennas. I haven't checked them yet, but I'm going to make that in the future. And thank you for watching, and return back. Soon I will place the manual how to build your own SVR method to check your antenna and solve your problem if you have them with a video feed. And wish you good flies and no crashes. Bye.